Hello there, this is Ace Trainer M. I've noticed that a lot of my previous videos I've been talking about Pokemon or Pokemon related things, like the way that why the Pokemon competitive meta isn't helping the series, what needs to change in JRPGs, and I figured right now that, well, not right now, but I thought today I'd talk about the different ways that Pokemon can go. Well, like can, I'm saying with a very, it's a very slim can, because there's very little chance that Pokemon will change up the formula now after like nearly 20 years of doing the same thing. Like, they have experimented here and there with slightly different types of games with, Pokemon Puzzle Quest, something like that. They had the puzzle games. They had Poke Park, which was like an open world kind of Pokemon game. They're coming out with Pokken something, which is like a fighting game, crossover with Tekken, I believe, or Capcom. Not sure. Never mind. So but generally the main series games have been more or less the same. Not only have the mechanics been the same, but visually, they kept the games looking very similar as well. Like, if you look from Red and Blue on the Game Boy, then all the way to Black and White 2 on the Nintendo DS, you'd see that they still look more or less in the same style. Like, of course, Black and White 2 looks slightly better, and they're colors, but the design of the games the design looks very similar, and it's on purpose. It's not that memory limitations or something like that. It's like if you looked at other DS titles, like off the top of my head, one of the best looking ones is Kingdom Hearts. You can see how the 3DS, the DS can step it up completely with visuals. And Pokemon really don't care. They wanted to keep this same graphic style to appeal to the older audience. But after X and Y, they kind of changed it up a bit, spiced it up. But whatever. What I thought, as I said, I'm gonna tell you about the different ways that Pokemon can go. And a way that a lot of people want to see Pokemon grow is into an MMO, and while it can work, it's not a move that Nintendo will pull, at least not in the near future. For, you see, first of all, MMOs, number one, are very expensive to make, and they're usually very unrewarding for most companies. Like, more or less, to be honest, the MMO market right now is being owned by World of Warcraft, and it's been owning this market for all this time, because the market which they're looking for is not necessarily a humongous player base, although that's good. They're looking for the types of players that will keep coming back to their games and grind and play for hundreds of hours and spend lots of time and money on the game. Those are the kind of players that the developers are looking for, and if they see that these players have a very hard time to leave these games because they invested a lot of time and money and essentially effort into these things, so they won't want to leave them as much. And if you take that into account, then you can realize more, why the MMO genre won't really, get a boost if a Pokemon MMO, will start. But Pokemon does have a slight edge over its competitors because, number one, it's already pretty established, meaning that a lot of people go into the game already knowing most of the mechanics and understanding how the game works. But also because the nature of Pokemon isn't necessarily about getting the best stats or best gear, because getting a really good, even EV-trained, IV-trained Pokemon team isn't the hardest thing to do, or beating the champion isn't the hardest thing to do. The game is more about exploring everything in the game, or catching all the Pokemon, stuff like that. And an MMO that can be updated constantly is perfect for that fit. I mean, because, MMOs always have expansions, they always have something new added to them, and it's perfect for the nature of Pokemon, seeing as a lot of Pokemon games just, expansions, essentially, on the same formula. and that's one thing right there. So that's one way it can work, but, you know, Nintendo with its current losses with the Wii U, well, I think it's been getting better actually recently, but overall the failure of the Wii U, and it won't really allow them to try and pull out an MMO. A different direction that Pokemon can try and go is a more adventure type game. Not adventure, but more, a game that isn't necessarily focused on being a trainer and going around being, just getting 8 badges and catching Pokemon and stuff. They had the Pokemon Ranger series and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon series, which were pretty successful. Which, were also sort of, followed a very kind of similar formula, but it still changed up quite a bit. Thing is, though, that Pokemon, especially with its TV show, has revealed a lot of different things in the Pokemon universe. One game I would love to see made one day is a game that lets you, rather than, follow a trainer in a new region or something, just let you play different classes, not classes, but different jobs in the Pokemon world. Whether you want to be part of Team Rocket, or be a coordinator, or a breeder, a connoisseur, whatever, We'll just let you do it, and it won't be as extensive as an old Pokemon game, but it'll just let you see the different aspects of Pokemon, and that will help establish, the depth and the feel of the general series even more. Another way which the series can expand is perhaps trying different genres, and they have been doing it with slight different games, but I would like to see Pokemon being used not only in different genres but in different times. The TV show has shown that Pokemon, have been used for war in the past. How cool would it be if you could play like, a first person or third person like shooter game where you play as one of these Pokemon, in ancient times for these wars, and you get to battle other Pokemon. That would be freaking awesome. Yeah, but the truth is that the reason Nintendo isn't, Game Freak, but Nintendo, who are above them, isn't going to do anything about this, not trying to use different genres, at least for, other than little side projects, is because they don't need it. Like, if you look at Nintendo's structure with their games, they're pretty much each divided into a certain genre, which they excel at. And, the player base, they just come back for this same genre, for the same reward. Mario is all about platforming, Zelda is about adventure and mystery, Pokemon is about collection and training. You got Metroid, which while it was about platforming back in the day, now it's more, it's the closest Nintendo has come to a shooter, really. Or other than Splatoon, which will come out soon, but never mind that. They have all these different game series. Pikmin is the closest they've come to strategy games. And that's the thing. Pokemon is just one of these little stepping stones of Nintendo that the little audience which wants to play these certain types of games, they get to play them. And that's quite sad, but whatever. Essentially this can go two ways. One way, Nintendo will keep doing what it's doing, and it'll probably outlive it. If it outlives its competitors, then it'll probably be able to expand or try out new things. It'll pretty much rule the markets by then. Or if it'll essentially die, and not die, but be bought by a different company, and then all its IPs will be used by something else. Pokemon like Vency shift or turn or used in something else, and that'll be very sad. But if by then we will have the same more of the repetitive Pokemon games, and we'll feel that it's dying and there isn't any more innovation, I think it's good. It's better than it just disappearing. Keep doing that. So thank you very much for listening. If you have any thoughts also about the topic, what way Pokemon you think would evolve, no pun intended, you can type it down there. So this is Ace Trainer M, and I'll see you guys next time.